Alan?
Speaking of the stuff growing over the guardrail, down on Long Lake, south of Card, there's about a 100-foot section, maybe a little bit longer, at the bottom of a hill, that vines have grown over and are all the way to the road. I was gonna go down there and spray it, but when I went down and cut with my lawnmower, I almost got run over, so I'm, so, but anyhow,
Well, that's our, like, to keep it from eroding.
Is that in those S curves?
that's what I figured.
What's that?
Is that in those S curves down there?
No, Long Lake, it's straight, it's south of Ridge Drive. The curve goes around the campgrounds and Ridge Drive, and I live on Ridge Drive, that's why I mow up there, but this is at the bottom of the hill on the east side of the road, and it's all the way to the road right now. One other thing, I'm losing that good, warm, fuzzy feeling about our road projects.
Which one's that?
Ditch and deeper.
We have 3 road projects. Blair Road between Reading and Humphrey, Fowler Road between Reading and Card, Hakes Road between Brush and Reading.
As soon as we're done with chip seal, that's where everybody goes, is to all those berm and dip projects.
We're good then, right?
Not a problem.
We are gonna do our best to get that whole, I got a whole list on my board for a few people. Litchfield, you, I mean, I got a bunch of them.
Okay, thank you.
How many miles of chip seal do we have to do approximately?
Approximately 50.
And I know we've started.
Yes,
Yeah.
we've got, well, you know what? I missed that on the update.
Oh, you got it. I got that.
So basically, we've got Adams, Jefferson, Pittsford, and Wright townships done. Other Wright, we're still doing Coman Road, it'd be Camden Road to Lime Lake Road. They're working on that. They were gonna work on it today. I'm not sure if they were able to because of the rain. So basically, we've got about 3 of the miles done. None of them are real long roads. I mean, the longest road that we gotta do is 2.5 miles. It's just a lot of moving to the different roads to get them done. But they're in the process of doing that, and if you want a copy of this, I can get you a copy of what's done and where they're at and what's left.
Yes, please email that to us.
Okay,
I can do that.
next on public comment.
I'd like to say
Yeah.
something. I'm Chris Wingate, and I was wondering, where could I find an MSDS on your brine and your brush spray? Because I think that we're getting agriculturally bombarded by chemicals and stuff that are not safe to us. And I'd just like to know if there's something I can take a look at to see.
Yep,
maybe
if you
we
give it
should
me
use-
afterwards, I'll get your information and I can get it to you.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Thank
Yep.
you.
Anybody else?
Well, on that note, Chris Myers, Township, what district or townships in that district are going to be having the brush spray this year?
Just look at your map. It's basically Camden, Reading, Cambria, Woodbridge, and part of Ransom.
Probably Amboy.
This corner of the county, the southeast corner of the county.
Southwest
Okay,
corner.
southwest corner of the county, that's sorry.
So it'd probably be another 4 years before Scipio Township would be seeing, that in that
It
district.
depends on how we go
Right,
around,
right.
but it could be next year.
Okay, which, procedures, the property owners just have to put do not spray signs, or do we have to get a waiver, to not spray on?
Just get a hold of us, and if you have signs out there, and the company that does it, we've worked with, I've worked with them in Jackson and here, they're very good about if people have issues with the organic,
Right.
especially now.
I also would like to have the MSDS sheet of brine and the chemicals.
Okay, yeah,
that's being
give
sprayed.
us your, email, phone number, whatever, I can email or text it to you, and
And back to, the gravel roads, you brought up as far as, you're processing cheaper gravel, so you're able to do more work on the county roads. When are we going to start seeing that type of work, in the towns as far as deberming, applying gravel from the shoulder roads out to the center.
As soon as we're done with chip seal, we'll start doing all those projects.
So you probably don't have,
All the way up till it
September,
freezes.
October, and, around that area.
Yeah, that's a good estimate, and right up until it freezes and we can't do it anymore, you know, so. Deberm is an easy one to just keep doing until it freezes on you, and just pulling it out in the road, picking it up, and giving it to whoever wants it.
Alright, thank you.
Next. Yes,
I just wanna touch base, and I only asked Alan because my daughter lives on the corner of Humphrey and Long Lake Road, and she's a runner, and if we could just run a mower down through that whole Long Lake would be great, but she said the same thing, like, you can't, the weeds are as tall as she is, so to get off the road, it's pretty tough. Very dangerous through that S-curve, and like he said, maybe even through the straightaway. You guys could just look at that, that'd be great. I'm gonna ask again that we record the meeting. Thank you, Mark, for coming and recording the meeting. I think that's excellent. And I wanted to know, did you have a chance to go look at Bernard Road?
No.
So I went out there when I left the meeting, and literally I took pictures, like I can fit both my feet in it, and it comes halfway up my leg. Now my concern is, it's a passable space. It is in the center line, but boy, if you're on a motorcycle, it's gonna grab your whole tire.
So where exactly is that? Cause I think
Well-
they went out and they said, well, they found a couple of small ones, but they didn't see.
Well, let me just tell you, it's Bernard Street. I had to drive around because I didn't know you had to go all the way. It's almost just before Bacon, so where Bacon comes around that big curve. I thought it was city. I would have argued it, but they say it's county, and it's almost to Bacon. You'll see it.
Okay.
It's just when you go down the hill. If you go from Bacon to Bernard, just right down the hill, I think they can just squirt some stuff in and fill it up, personally. But I'm not a road person. so-
Bernard is, I'd say about a mile long there, 3/4 of a mile to a mile, that's county road from Bacon to the city limits.
Okay.
To the,
Okay, cause I got a report back that they went out and looked and I said, well, we found a few little ones that we need
I
to fill.
took pictures of it. I could show you after, just so you'd know maybe, so you could see it.
yeah,
And then last but not least,
yeah, that's,
the dirt roads are amazing over by 49, I'm just gonna say it. I think it's because they're so highly traveled, but they're pretty doggone good. I don't usually say that, but they really are. But on Halley and Sand Lake Road, on the southeast corner, there's a tree that's just about hangs to the ground. So if you're coming Sand Lake headed north, and you're moving, right, and you're gonna come to the stop sign at Halley, if you don't know that stop sign's there, you're not gonna see it until it's too late and you're in the middle of Halley, which
So it's covering the sign?
it is. If you can just
Okay.
get someone to nip that off, it surely
I
help
know
it.
people that can do that.
Perfect. I mean, I can go with some nippers too, but it is one spot that
All right.
just needs some cutting. Thank you.
anybody else? Yeah,
I have a question. The last meeting, they talked about the MERS savings account program. Have you heard of
I've
any
been in
meetings?
contact
or-
with them, I'm just waiting on some dates. They said their fall's pretty booked up, so I don't know how soon that would be, but I've been in contact with them.
All right, thank you.
We are still working that, cause I think it's a good
Great.
thing to do.
Bob?
Yeah, in the idea of the berms on the side of the road, maybe, and has been in the past, it's never been worked out, that you would get those things done, we wouldn't have to rework any of the berms if we were using those trucks in the springtime to try to bring in some of that as well, so just a way of getting away from that cost, I would like to apply
Yeah,
that.
once they're fixed, we should be able to maintain them that way, yeah, as long as they're graded right, so.
Oh, I do agree, I just hope that we can make the application for all, because it's never been done, and doesn't, it's just accomplished that you are now in control, and we think that you might be doing something, and hopefully that.
But just so you know, we've got like a whole list of, like Alan was saying, we got a whole list of projects that the townships have already approved and put in money for, that's what we're gonna concentrate on. But after that, it should be just almost a shotgun, go start scratching berms off, you know, and it won't be any particular roads, I'm gonna try to pick a few out of every township and just start working them. It's gonna take a few years to get all this berm off, but.
Well, I wasn't necessarily saying when you wait for the money from the townships.
Well, that part we do it with under maintenance, once we start just scratching.
Just scratching back, getting that, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
We wouldn't, I wouldn't see charging the township for that as something we should be able to get back into under just regular road maintenance to take care of that.
Yep, I agree. Thank you, kindly.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I guess, can I get a copy of the drug and alcohol policy? And also, you guys needed, like, we're looking for road suggestions, Brown Road. It's a local road, so you'll have to work with Moscow, but it's been obliterated for quite some time. I think it either needs to be pulverized or redone. It's trashed.
I've even heard that.
Yeah, it's bad. And, they did paver patch it, but they paver patched the good side and left the trash side trash.
Well, sometimes you gotta keep together, hold the good and wait till you get money to fix the bad stuff, but. Well, add to the list of, does the township want to entertain the project for that? I'll take any township project that they wanna participate in.
Anybody else? Kathy?
Okay, Bob, back to the comment about the brush spraying. If residents don't want the brush spraying, they put signs out because of organic, whatever. Who's responsible for taking care of the brush on those roadsides then?
They are.
So is there any follow-up that's being done?
To be honest with you, normally, I'm just saying this how it normally happens. If somebody doesn't want it sprayed because of, you got an organic farm out there, they put signs out, they should come in and tell us that they're doing that, so we know not to spray it. And then it's their responsibility to keep that safe. Now, are they gonna mow it back as much as we would, or maybe they'll mow it back more, I don't know. But until it becomes a safety issue, or we get a complaint on something, we're probably not gonna say a whole lot.
But what if you're not mowing it?
What's
Then,
that?
what if it's not been mowed, then how does that work?
What do you mean?
Like if the side of the road hasn't been mowed, so it's
And they
grown
don't want
up.
it sprayed?
Well,
Right, that's my question.
Yeah.
If they don't want it sprayed,
We'll still
and
do
it's
the normal
not,
mowing.
we'll still do this normal mowing,
Yes.
but that brush is growing and they're not maintaining it. And what's our follow-through to make sure it gets maintained? That is what I'm asking, and maybe you need to look into that, because I think that needs to happen. Because
That would,
people have
again,
the
be a
right,
policy.
people have the right not to have it done, but they need to follow through and take care of their roadside.
but what if it's
And
not being mowed?
Well, it's being mowed if the county's mowing it.
But if the county isn't mowing it?
Well, the county.
Everything should be mowed at
Yes.
least once. The first cut.
No, I can drive down roads that haven't been mowed. I've been actually kinda keeping track of it, but
All right.
we'll
It
have
should
to
be.
get with you. That's my question. I mean,
That's
if it's
actually one of the-
mowed,
Well,
But I agree
the mowing will continue, the
Yes.
county mowing that we do will continue. But the brush control is for what's beyond that county mowing.
How far does the county mowing go off the road?
I was gonna ask.
Normally, right now, it's just one cut.
One cut.
Like
So
whatever
probably
that mower can cut.
5-6 feet.
Yeah. I
you
call
have
it
a
first
list of
cut.
roads that have been mowed?
And some of those
I'm sure we
ditches are
can-
too steep to mow.
What's that?
Some of those ditches are too steep to mow. I've tried mowing mine with my Kubota, and I'm afraid I'm gonna tip over when I get down in there.
Well, that's
So-
where the swing arm mowers, we send them out. and
But
it's-
that'd be
and it
10
can-
feet off the road.
Yep.
So is there some reason they can't do that? I mean,
Oh, they
get
can,
out-
but
get as
we've
far
only
out
got
as they
so
can
many,
reach.
you know.
Cause I'm trying to go all organic, and I don't have a problem with taking care of the brush as much as I can. But there's some places where I can't get my equipment in there either.
Yep.
And your little arm would work great for that. So,
It would, we just need to get around them. I mean, we've got 3 or 4 of those that have to cover 1,200 some miles of road,
sure.
so
Do we get much funding for mowing?
there's nothing set aside for
Just for
mowing, it's
mowing.
just.
I
one
put in an
task we gotta do.
application, or I looked at putting in an application last year to help you guys mow, cause I know you guys needed some help. And what you were paying, I wouldn't even get out of bed for that, so.
I agree with you.
But I
I
thought we
didn't even
decided to
bother.
contract mowing so it would be done because our equipment was in poor shape, and I didn't see that got done this year.
That one,
Yeah, that wasn't, we didn't have time to do all that this year, so it is something I wanna see, but again, we've gotta figure it into the budget and
Mark,
What
you have
is the
something?
general length spray from the edge of the road inward on somebody's property for the spray?
they're not supposed to spray any more than the right of way, which is 33 feet from the center of the road.
Okay, now that's where I had a problem with that, the last time they did do Scipio Township, and it was roughly 15 to 20 feet in, on the property at the river. The Kalamazoo River. And that's why we brought that issue up here at that time, and that was, Mr. Eichler and myself. Mr. Wingate brought up some good points as far as soon as you get off the shoulder of the road, you've got a one width mower that the county would mow. After that, you'd have a drop off, which would be a wetland. In that one section is where I brought up before, is where the county had actually gouged out the side of the road to drain the water off the road. And that was the reason why I've been at, why not bring up the shoulder of the road so that the water would drain naturally into the appropriated spot, the wetland, ditches, or rivers. I still fail to see anything done to that fact. As far as, you can't mow it now because you've already gouged out the side of the shoulder. If they do come up here, you're gonna create damage to the county mower. Now, I mow it with my mower, but I have to raise my deck up and only hit the high spots and not hit the cutout section of the shoulder. So I, like Mr. Wingate, do try to take care of our shoulder road or our side of the property. But if we're gonna have the side of the road gouged out to relieve the water, that's being built up on a county road. Draining is one thing if you're going to fix the road. If you're not gonna fix the road, what is the sense of cutting it out other than the amount of water that stands on the road is actually deteriorating the county road and breaking down the road base. There's a lot of road bases that are timber bases that are getting rotted away. And we're losing our county roads because of that. So if we can start seeing improvements on that aspect, would probably help out a lot of people.
I can't disagree with you, but it's just gonna take time to get to all that.
I had one more thing. Can I say it? So I looked through the audit and I see in after 2021, we went from Kenneth Talsma to Nathan Balderman for our CPA piece, or accounting piece. Did we change who does our audit? No? I just was curious, from 17 to 21 it was.
For that company. It's
What's
still,
that?
It's still Raymond.
It's still someone who works for that company, that's what I wanted to know, thank you.
Mark, did you have something?
It's been so long I forget. It was along the line of how far in, because most roads you have, excuse me, 33 foot from the center, and how far in you did mow. Bob answered that. It sounded like you maybe spray as much as the whole road right away.
And they're still selective on that. I mean, if it's somebody's yard, or if it's, even though this new spray that they've got is compatible for water and wetlands, and then it's all approved, they still watch what they're doing, where they're doing it, and we can coordinate with them on any spot to say, don't spray this, or stay back.
Is it organic?
I doubt it's organic. It's a water-based spray
It
now.
might be water-based, that makes it even worse, it's gonna dissolve and get into the.
No, it's all EPA approved, and so, like I said, I can get you the
Okay.
MSDS and stuff on it. Just need your, like I said, your info to send it to.
I know I live out in an agricultural area, and now and then when farmers out there spraying their fields with herbicides and stuff, I can smell that. That can't be healthy for you. I lock up the house, or either that, or I'll leave town or something. That's not good. We don't need half those chemicals. We got by with it for a long time, but we don't need them now, you know.
Okay, anybody else?
Agree?
May I just add, what Mr. Myers over here was saying in previous was on Row Road, near the corner, I should say, of, excuse me.
Rowe and Jeffrey.
No, it is Jeffries, that's right, Row and Jeffries. there was a culvert, and that culvert has never been replaced or taken in consideration to getting it replaced. We did have the corn, which was down there, we did have a gentleman, come down there, because the corn, I think it's Mr. Magnus Field, not to say, I don't know exactly, but along that side, the farmer's been using up that side of the road on Jeffries, and we couldn't get the water to go anywhere. So there was nothing there, and of course, the gentleman who came down from here said that they would trench that and at least open it up, and again, that goes back 5-6 years ago, but it had never been accomplished. As far as the spray was concerned, the only difference we found was you're talking 33 feet from the center of the road. That gives us about a 15 foot on the other side, let's say where the grass starts.
Yeah,
I'm just saying on, well, you know, close to. And what they had done is they did this overspray in the air. They didn't do it on where you have this, they pointed it into where the little trees and stuff are, and that's a big no-no. That's why we got on to DuPont and the others that was doing that. And we did capture quite a few of these little spots from that chemical that was on other people's plants and flowers inward about 25 to 30 feet. So yeah, my concern would be only that, but thanks and allowing me to speak again.
No problem. All right, nothing else, we can stand adjourned. Thank you.